So on this day in 2001, something tragic happened. We had the incident that we all know of with the man, this is hard to talk about. It's hard to speak on this, and it's hard to put into words what happened. It's just think about a day like that happens, and it's just weighs so heavy upon you. Brings tears to your eyes thinking about all the people, all the families. I mean, it happened, and how old was I? I was like 8. I wasn't even in the United States at that point in time, but it was something that happened, and it shook the entire world, not just the United States. Everyone with family members all across the world. I remember my uncle, he was in the United States, and who were freaking out because we didn't know what state he was in. And when you don't live in the United States, all you see about the United States is New York and the big buildings. So we assumed he was in the big buildings, and so there was some contact. We needed to make contact with him. We were freaking out. I remember my mom was screaming and saying, "Has anybody heard from him? Has anybody heard from him?" Trying to get in contact with other family members just to make sure he was okay, to make sure he was not in the area. Come to find out, he lives in Maryland. But at that moment in time, there was this unbelievable fear, because you see it on the TV, and you see the first plane. I think I was at home. It was nighttime, and they had CNN on, and you see the first plane, you see the first building, and then right after that, as you're watching the first building, you see the second plane come in, and it just hits you. It's just like, it's just like, what is going on? How can this be happening? Like, that is like in our thoughts, for those of us who weren't in the United States, our thoughts were simply, that is the United States. Like, we put the United States on such a pedestal, and that was impossible. It's like it could happen any other place in the world, but not in the US. Our beliefs were shaken, and everything that we knew changed after that day. But there was one thing that I can say for certain happened. There was a unison that, whether it was people in the US or people all across the world, there was a unison that we have not yet seen. And my question is simply this: why? Why does it always take a tragedy for us to finally understand each other? For us to see the good that each person has? Why does it have to take something so bad for us to come together and stand as one? Why do we have to always wait for the negative things to bring us together? I look outside today, and everybody you watch the news, and everybody's standing up for just their own goals or whatever, and it's just, we can't stand together anymore. There's just this divide, there's this division, and I don't understand why. But I thank God, because even in this division, I know He can bring us together again. Even in these times that you think about it and it's painful. Even in these moments where it's just unbelievable to think about the pain and the sufferings and just the divisions that we bring up amongst ourselves. I just know that God can bring us back together. And my prayers and my thoughts are to those families that lost the loved ones or lost people close to them in that time. Just pray that God will continue to comfort them and be their families. And to those who have lost parents, that God will be their fathers and their mothers. It's just so heavy to think about. Every day I think about things that are just not that important. It's just really brings things to perspective. But I give you this charge. Just our differences are what makes us stronger, not what makes us weaker. Do not use your differences to be the thing that define others. So what we're different? So what I'm black? So what you're white? So what you're yellow? It doesn't matter. What matters is that we love each other, and that's just it. Love. We just need to get back to that place, to that basis of having love for one another. I'm sorry, I just felt this was just, I don't know why it just happened, and it was heavy. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless y'all. Peace.
That sensation, impending extinction, mate.